Welcome to the Trinity Techcast. This is episode number 59. Coming to you on the 31st of March, the last day of March. That is the first quarter of the year done. And my co-host here has been fighting up with a Linux server. And in the pre-show, we're talking about stuff. And he had to do the dreaded just wipe the VM and start over. Yeah. So what command it is you had to run that you mess up so bad? It was
I installed
sudo.
some
That's why you have to put sudo something
sudo and remove your whole root.
Yeah.
rm-rf.
rm-rf, yep. that is the Linux commands, yeah.
Well, no. I'm doing it in Oracle Cloud, so yeah, that's create a new instance.
Okay.
I've had a trial, they call it tenancy, it's not real money I'm using it, so I could play around and create and kill and all of that. Just not going to be using real money, so I'll get right soon.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm working on plenty app things right now, but remember I tell you I was
doing
about
the
product
videos? Did you record any videos this week? You promised the people last week that you're gonna get back on the train.
Any personal personally produced videos that wasn't that part of the podcast?
Yes.
Nope. I have the video concept there, but
the idea.
Nah, boy. I have plenty exam stuff to do by eyes to mark and real school work. And most of the videos right now is schoolwork videos for them children and them now.
Yeah.
The CXC people and the app launch. And now we probably now reaching to 2,000 downloads and organizing all kind of thing to make the app better for peak time now, because peak time coming up.
Yeah, I mean, so get the app a little promo. I don't know if it have any listeners, have any students, any children that, gonna be writing.
Go to makeITsimpleTT.com/learn it. It's an app that's geared towards students in the Caribbean who do CXC examinations. You'll be able to see videos from different teachers all over the Caribbean that are able to break down different topics, give you past paper answers, solutions, and a dedicated theory. But there's also PDFs, and when you watch a video, you could get the PDF for that particular video that gives you a walkthrough of the past paper answers, multiple choices, or even notes put up by teachers like myself and teachers from all over the Caribbean. We have teachers from Jamaica, Antigua, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, and teachers are being added weekly. PDFs are being added weekly. And if you download it for free, there are only 3 ads in the whole app, because this is not a part of the ad. We're just testing out how much money is make from ads. to see.
No, but I mean that. No, go ahead, you good.
No, go ahead, I done.
No, I was gonna say that your song polish, or like you practice that ad. I was practicing that ad, or you use it somewhere else. Or?
Yeah, I record the ad. I record a whole set of short ads for it.
Yeah.
I tell you, I record other things, but nothing. So I have about a whole set, about 6 or 7 short ads, like 30-second ads, just talking about features and things. That is what we're listening on TikTok right now. And I think one of them hit a 20K. Long time I didn't see 20K in a 25K right now or something. So long time I didn't see 25K, but I started to realize, oh yeah, right, this is how this thing does feel, right? Yeah, when real people commenting and plenty people reposting. What I realize now is that on TikTok, plenty people reposting things. And it's I probably had a notification on for reposting videos now. So they're reposting it to their stories, because TikTok stories seem to be a thing now. So when you start back doing videos, make sure you put things in your stories, right? Because of course you recorded a video this week, didn't you? Yeah. Man, get caught, yes.
I had the concept in my head too.
It all starts with a concept. I told you that is enough of our old talk. I'll usually have a timer for 5 minutes of old talk because apparently people care about the old talk. They'll be like, oh, we're learning more about them. You know, they actually care about sharing their lives. Today, we are talking about, we have two local and one foreign. One is use AI. Somebody is advocating that you use AI in Trinidad and Tobago, or else you will be left behind, aka your business will be gone in 5 years. 5 years, they said. Then the next one is digital acceptance in Latin America, they say, which basically bonds to Trinidad and Tobago inside there. So we'll see how the digital acceptance is going on, how much money people transferring. Because I didn't read the whole article, of course, but I see there are some numbers inside it, and that's good. And the last thing we talk about is the Florida restriction social media for people under 16. And under 14, you're basically banned. Under 16, you could get parental consent. Yeah. If that starts to get a little uptick in the States, then that might start to affect us, even though you could just lie on the email, but for the parents that care, we'll talk about that as we go along. So let's go into our first story. We're going to be talking about embracing AI is the new way forward. That's an article in the Express, so we come back with that. You know, I love to put exclamation marks, so I just put use AI. Because that's what people say all the time. Why are they not using AI? How can we use AI? Where will we use AI? And interesting enough, I have a second app that we're coming out that going to launch like next month. Well, no, next week. Here that actually using AI because it's sound nice now. So I have to go and I do dual media talk. So I'm going on TV6 and thing and talk about it and see what happens when they say using AI. All right, so here's the article here. Embracing AI is the way forward. Strategic advisor and executive coach Shane Ram. The article is from Melissa Mena, done on March 26. He says, in very short terms, well, I'll put it succinctly. Ram made the comments while addressing a room full of businessmen and businesswomen during a forum at the 86th Annual General Meeting of the Shipping Association of Trinidad and Tobago. There are basically going to be two features, one that utilizes artificial intelligence, or you're going to be out of business, he said, under the theme Leveraging Disruption for Growth, Unleashing Potential in Times of Change. So he's saying that two things will happen. You will either utilize it and live, or you go out of business. Here, and he said something that really stuck out to me. Watch this part, he said, when I went down. Ram insisted that AI can in fact quadruple your workforce without adding a cent to payroll. This, he said, is the minimal potential of the use of AI. He reiterated that the resistance felt is a sign of learning, noting that AI is changing like crazy fast every day. He urged change is a good thing because what happens is that studies have shown that when you have those shocks and you're able to deal with it, you're able to build what we call resilience. So my first hot take is, he says you could quadruple your workforce without adding a cent to payroll. So he's not advocating that you will lose staff. He's saying that you could maximize your staff and make your workforce do a lot more. That's 4 times the amount of people, which basically means you wouldn't hire anybody and nobody will lose their job.
I don't.
Well, yeah.
He said that, but at the same time, he didn't say you can't cut costs. You know, you say you don't need to add nobody, but on the flip side, like if things going on be more efficient and you don't need to add any money, and you realize, hey, these 2-3 people here, AI doing the same job. You think a business person, and he talking about if you don't use AI, you're going to be left behind. Cause he's right, so which means he's a person who believes in competitive edge and pushing the bar. You think if you had the opportunity to cut costs, they wouldn't do it? Right. Our business not thinking like that.
So my long-term thoughts on it is not every business wants to grow exponentially right now. There are some people who are in business and they're saying to themselves, all right, I reached to the point where I reached some profitability. I work 18 hours a day to get to this point. I kind of just want to get back my life and let the business run and not have to be running it down as much as I have been doing. I personally know people like that who've spent 5 years, maybe 10 years building a business, and they work real hard, sacrifice all the time, and they get the business to a point of profitability that is okay. And they're like, all right, I don't want to push the grow anymore right now. I kinda okay. However, that's a dangerous place to be in, because if you're not trying to grow, you will stagnate. And once you stagnate, everybody else that trying to grow will pass you.
Because I don't know, like business, some people just see business and think, I know we ain't talking about tech, but still, some people see business and think, all right, it's an easy road, you know, you're working for yourself and whatever, but getting into business versus being at a job is probably one of the hardest things you're going to have to do, you know, because usually that'll be driving everything. And as you say, if you take your foot off the pedal, you know, just to even... Not even to say you're growing, but just to even maintain your current level, you still have to put effort and energy into it. So
it's interesting.
Unless you reach a point where things profitable and you're in a position probably to sell it. And
or sell it or put somebody else in charge who has the same drive. If you get somebody with your same drive, employee, and you're kind of and you kind of massage them enough into this is yours. I'm giving you this to take, and they have a passion for it. Well, then cool.
Yeah, but that in itself is a hard thing to get. Somebody that has that same drive, somebody you could trust.
Yeah.
You know, that's a hard.
So
easier said than done.
His selling point is, all right, I hope all you want to grow real bad, because if you really want to grow, you could quadruple the amount of people you have with the same amount of people I have right now. Basically, you don't have to make any new hires. All you have to do is get your current hires to handle things better. Yeah. And consequently, I was talking to somebody else yesterday, day before, who working in the ministry, and they were telling me that their hand is hurting them because they're writing too much. I was like, what do you mean your hand hurting you because you're writing too much? Yeah. Said person, who I will not disclose, is working in a particular place where they have to write out a lot of things for I ain't going any further into it. But they have to write out
paper,
a lot of
like on paper with a pen.
And they had to write it out in triplicate sometimes to submit
like
something. Like his lines, and they had to write it out in triplicate and submit it to somebody to verify it, and then they go and they pass it on to whoever else have to do whatever. And they were telling me that there are like 20 something people in the department, and realistically, one computer with a spreadsheet could cut that department down to 6 people, because just writing things down in triplicate could be done once on the computer, and then you print it out 3 times.
Yeah.
And it was that simple, but I was like...
I don't even think you need 6 people.
Yeah, well, it's a different things they're in charge of. But I was laughing at that, because that's job cuts now. And the reason why they don't want to put in a computerized system for it is not because that they don't trust it. It's really like, what the rest of the staff go do. And a government ministry, not expressly trying to do things better. They're just trying to do things the way that they've been done all before to maintain the acceptable standard of 1995. And not say, let's raise the standard. Like, you ain't gonna hear a ministry just jump up and be like, okay, here what we're going to do. We're going to raise the standard. Like,
and also... Someone could be political too, as you say. If you implement that's change, you know, people might get sent home, and those people, you know, they may hold a slight against whoever. In keeping the people there, on the flip side, you know, they might show you some loyalty, you know, in the sense that, you know, you're keeping them around in this place, you know.
So let me go back to my boy.
That in itself, it's interesting, it's concerning,
And it hurts, you know.
Yeah, to know that. Yeah, people writing stuff out.
Oh, yeah. So back to my boy, he said, drawing an example, he said, medicine in a few years, probably in advanced countries like the United States, a doctor would not, probably want to say Sweden. United States ain't exactly that advanced when it comes to, like, you know, a doctor would not be able to give a diagnosis without AI. He shared that using AI can help with a wide range of things, including cooperation to customer offerings. He indicated that the use of ChatGPT and AI tool that generates human-like text-based. He pointed out ChatGPT is open, so you don't want to put confidential information. You don't want to put intellectual property, but if you have closed ones, you could use it. He advised companies, here's what he says, to start small when using AI. Where you want to start is operational efficiency. That is the fastest way to start. It could also help you respond to emails, do advertisements. Ram concluded that AI has the potential to radically change your business, your industry, noting it's going to take a learning curve. As you learn, it changes, it gets better. All I have to say is embrace it because it's going to happen. So he's saying, start to look for operational efficiencies, meaning the things that you currently do, can you use AI to make those things better?
Yeah.
Operational-wise. The example you have is emails. Use the autocomplete that on Gmail.
No, really.
If anything. I find it as be real, for lack of a better word, white.
Yeah, I don't really use it.
It doesn't seem like that's how I want to say.
I have Grammarly, the plugin there sometimes, and you know, going back a little bit, he talk about, you know, you're not needing to add to your payroll or whatever, you know, but if you really want to leverage AI, you're probably going to need to pay for the advanced version than the, you know, that's using the free one. So you would have some cost
right,
if you really want to invest in
one. Yeah, so one person retire and you just don't hire anybody back for that person to retire. You're not a fire nobody.
20 US a month.
Yeah,
that would go wrong. That would go a long way. But I guess I get what he's saying, you know. I think he said within 10 years or so, 5 to 10 years.
5 years.
5 years, yeah. Because where it's at now, it still has some little kinks to get through. Because I don't think you're at the point now where you could let ChatGPT or whatever diagnose you. Because even the other day, I paid for I don't know if I mentioned it. Google has like a free 2-month trial for their advanced
for
version.
Gemini.
For Gemini. So I paid for it, using it. Something I asked it like last night or day before, and in the answer, it had something that looked like Russian, like characters, and then our next answer, it had something that looked kind of like Chinese, and I asked it like, why include this in the response? And it told me it was a typo. I was like, why are you making typos? And it's saying, oh, you know, it more or less give an excuse in terms of, you know, it's still learning, and you know, sometimes this happens when you're trying to give text to humans that they could relate to, and it's more or less a kind of BS answer, but yeah, it gave me some weird characters in the response. So I guess it had a little kinks to work out still, but I get what he's saying, you know, because in terms of operational efficiency, it really helps. So like, I don't know if you just do stuff like proposals and you know, even contracts. Sometimes contracts, or sometimes you just you could write, you have an idea what you want to do, like you could write a paragraph or two in terms of what you want to do or what you want to say, but you just, you know, just to put it together and you feed it the information, and it will.
I am at the point where I used to budget a lot of time for sending proposals, contracts, administrative things, all kind of stuff that I had to do. And I just know, I don't have to budget that a large amount of time, you know. Most of my time going to be spent on formatting it when I'm done. Because the way how it does copy and paste, I might want to format it with bullet points or numbers or something. I could ask the AI to do it, but even some things for my staff, and I tell them, okay, here what I needed to do. I needed to do so, and do a quality assurance testing on this website or something like that. Yeah. And then they will be like, okay, so what are the things you need me to test? I'll be like, hold on, I'll get back to you. And I go and I'll be like, okay, when doing quality assurance testing on a website that has blah, 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 what are some of the things that are necessary? I get 10 bullet points, and I read through the bullet points, and I was like, okay, 9 of them good. I copy all of them, and I send it, okay, this is what you want to do, put that in a table, and this is how the QA will work for that. Before, I would have to sit down and be like, wait, boy, I don't start to do some Googling, get a template, find a PDF online, and all kind of thing. No, I was like, yeah, this is good. So, the amount of things that you could do, it would be increased because you could literally do things faster.
Yeah, because as you was talking earlier, you're not doing this work in Linux or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, normally, it's like, I enter this command, I get this error, I had to go and Google the error, I had to read through all the forums, But now it's like, I using this particular version of Linux, this is what I'm trying to do, this is the command I enter, this is the error I get, and it'll give you, it gives you all the troubleshooting steps what you need to do, try this, try that. And for them, it's say probably between 85 to 95% useful most of the time.
Yeah, because, you still had to be, of course, we said this so many times, you still have to know your stuff because you had to be able to filter out the nonsense I might give you. But once you know your stuff, your operational efficiency could go up really high. And any company that want to grow just need to figure out, okay, what are the things that we do? And what are the things that are hard to do? How can AI help us do this? And it has some things that AI can help you to do, which is like create things. But if one of them is you used to send to somebody to say, okay, do up the contract for this person, and they had to take 2 days to do the contract because they have to make sure that it's airtight and whatnot. That taking 2 hours now. And I here for it, and I am quite content. Even my students, when they're doing the coding, there's coding an online ID, and the online ID have an AI in it that is finish off lines for them. So they'll write the function call, and they'll probably put linear search, and then the open brackets and all the arguments that are passed to the function that are coming up one time. I'll be like, okay, press tab and see what it gives you. But the arguments are supposed to get for your linear search. So don't just take it for granted that it give you the correct thing. But at least you don't have to type out all of that because it kind of figure out, oh, you're writing a function. Let me do it for you. Yeah. And then it could give you a generic linear search, and then all you have to do is go and change the things in between, which is what you learn to do anyhow, because that's what you're supposed to be doing in class. Yeah. So
a question on that, right? I didn't do IT or ComSci in Form 5 or CAPE or anything. So for their assessment for exams, they just have to write out code, write out
on paper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they write out on paper, just like university. But for their IA, they have to write a program with at least, in lower 6, they had to do at least 5 distinct functions, and in upper 6, they had to do about 9 different functions. And writing the functions is the easy part. The documentation is where it does get difficult, because documentation is pain all around.
Yeah, that's what taking me so long to, almost every command I make, I document in it, so...
Yeah.
It's 15 pages of documentation.
That real pain. Yeah. So, yep. So I think the article is good. Or you could go and read the article. The article will be in the show description, and you could read all that he said. And I tend to agree with most of it. It's just that the quadruple in your workforce depends on if you really want to push your business real hard. Other than that, more than likely you're going to try to cut, because businessmen, there are 2 ways to make money: create new products or cut your staff.
Yeah. And I mean that the quadruple in your stuff, because it kind of depends on the type of business you're into and that kind of thing,
I agree. Yeah.
Because if it's a construction company, yeah, I ain't gonna really help you that much. I mean, it could help it as you think the administrative stuff, but if your core business is something like that.
I could tell you how much bricks you need to buy. All right, that was very generic. Sorry, I apologize to anybody who's in construction. It's way more than that. Way more than that. All right, next article is our friends at The Guardian. All right, yeah. Digital acceptance growing. Our friend Peter Christopher again, boy. Every week we have an article. Don't worry, one day we'll get Peter on. So we'll be back after this. MasterCard, digital acceptance is growing in Latin America and the Caribbean. Let's see what that says.
In today's digital age, every business needs a strong online presence to reach new customers and stay competitive. But not every business needs a complex website or a full-fledged e-commerce solution. At makeITsimpleTT, we understand that every business has unique needs, and we offer a range of tailored solutions to fit those needs. Over the years, we've helped many businesses. Our services include website design and development. We create a professional and user-friendly website like these that represent your brand and drives results. Invoicing and payment processing. We can streamline your billing process with a user-friendly invoicing system that integrates seamlessly with most payment gateways, and you can receive online payments easily. We also do automated order forms, which allows you to collect orders online and customer information effortlessly and send back automated emails, notifications, and reminders, and then you just have to make the sale at the end. So you can contact us today to learn more about how we can help make your business more successful. Or you can visit makeITsimpleTT.com/business.
Digital acceptance is booming. That's my headline with an exclamation mark. According to Peter Christopher, 12 hours ago, so that would have been the 31st. Oh, wow. That's today. 31st. There has been a growth in the acceptance of digital transactions in Latin America and the Caribbean, but the cost of digital options remains an obstacle to wider acceptance in the region. This was one of the major points highlighted in a report by payment technology giant MasterCard and research group Payments and Commerce Market Intelligence entitled The Future of Remittances in Latin America, Digitization, Multiple Rails, and the Strategic Role of Partnerships. What does this article say that is important? There are some numbers inside here. Right. The report stated, the region still must combat problems such as entrenched financial exclusion, poverty, and social and political instability. Countries like Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Peru, Paraguay, and Bolivia are lagging in financial inclusion indicators. Less than 60% financial account access, as more than 91 million Latin Americans still do not have digital accounts, and another 200 million are in the early stages of financial inclusion. I think they should have put Trinidad inside here too. There's the part that it says here. The report, yeah. So I wasn't sharing it at the point in time, my bad. So this has led to slower adoption of digital payment solutions compared to the rest of the world, as the report said. I think they're talking about Trinidad there. They're definitely talking about Trinidad. So 60% financial account access. Who they talk about? Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Peru, Paraguay, and Bolivia. Oh, I think Mexico might be a little... No, Mexico, no. Honduras, Guatemala. I want to know about Guatemala. No, Guatemala. It's Central America. Like the people that they raid for the bananas. Yeah. Honduras, El Salvador, Peru, Paraguay, Bolivia. I guess those countries are what you would consider to be not the gemstones of the South America and Latin America.
Yeah. I mean, they did mention something positive in terms of Trinidad that I believe compared to Carnival 2023 to 2024, it had a 20% increase in visa transactions.
Oh, let me see if I find out. In December, Finance Minister Carl Milbert noted an increase in financial exclusion while addressing a workshop. No, that's not it.
It's higher up. It's a bit higher up.
Today, no.
Let's do a controller for Carnival.
Right, yeah. The number of visa transactions during Trinidad Carnival 2024 increased by almost 20% in comparison to Carnival 2023, while contactless transactions more than double in good. Well, I mean, let's give that a clap.
Yeah. I mean, part of it could be that if you look at the numbers in terms of how much people came, that could be it too, that the numbers increased from last year.
Larger number, yeah.
We are still, I'm not sure if we still had a little COVID hangover, but I think the numbers this year was larger than last year. And a lot of those transactions, again, was directly tied to the numbers. It was people from the US, Canada, and the UK doing most of those transactions. So it wasn't necessarily locals doing
the fact that they could do the transaction is good, because before they used to come to Trinidad and then have to be walking with cash. Because they know, all right, wherever you go, you have to walk with cash here because they don't take your card. And God forbid they take your phone with tap to pay. Like, what?
Nah, that won't work here. I don't think
that.
Would it work? Do the tap to pay machines would be able to do the app? Well,
nope, only chip cards. It will only read the chip card, because them the tap to pay you require can't remember what it was. I think I checked it out. You had to have NFC. NFC. What
NFC reader.
Yeah, what those machines use is RFID.
Okay.
So the card doesn't emit a radio frequency, but the phone uses NFC. And if you need a machine with NFC. So basically, it's a different type of machine that you need for your phone to work. Even though phones could pick up RFIDs also, but long story short, if the number went up, that is good. I personally have seen that people are using their chip cards to make purchases.
Yes, but they're still using it at the gas stations though.
And you know what? I don't understand why. Let me pause. Let me tell you this. So you remember when we did the video about the gas station and chip cards and thing, and people was real kind of like tinfoil hat and thing, right? I use my debit card at time because I don't know why. I can't remember why I didn't use my credit card. I don't know. But I use a debit card. And people was complaining about the $6 I just take and all them kind of thing. Yeah. When you use a debit card, it's just like the ATM, it's asked if you want to use your savings account, you put the savings account, you put the PIN, whatnot, and the money come out directly. So I was like, all this time I using my credit card because I want the points or whatever it is, get for the credit card. But the debit card working just as good, even better, because the money coming out directly and you could put in exactly how much you want to take now. With your credit card, you had to fill up and well, you could stop where you want, of course, but you won't see the amount come out your credit card immediately because they'll just take the $6. But the debit card, you could do it. And once you have a chip card, there is literally no barrier whatsoever. But every time I go to the gas station and I see these people in the line, I'll be like, why, boy? Why?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it could be that they don't have the money,
No, it's not that they don't have the money. People paranoid. That's the biggest issue. People don't fully trust the machines. They think sometimes it mightn't work, but the biggest thing is they think, the stuff will get compromised if they use it.
Man, I don't know. And someday I had to go to the ATM.
Yeah.
I had to deposit a check or something. So I had to go to the ATM to deposit a check. And the amount of people standing up there and pushing in their card into the machine when it have the RFID to basically just tap the card on it and you could go into the ATM. I'm like, wait, they're pushing in the card. And I wanted to be like the greatest tech evangelist and be like, yo, you could just take the card and wave it right there and it will work. And when I wave my card, I see the woman behind me, like she make a kind of noise like, I was like, I hope that she saw that I didn't have to put in my card and I just tapped the card and I put it back in my wallet one time.
Does probably on the part of the banks too, they probably should have a campaign, let some people make some videos, a little campaign, hey, you could tap to pay, tap to use the ATM, you don't have to worry about the machine taking your card anymore if you're paranoid about that. A little awareness campaign. Anybody in the bank, you could probably go and say.
I guess they could do that. But I have seen...
That could be your next video.
I see the bank, then they go tell me I do an ad for FCB again, because the last time I do one, they thought I do an ad for FCB, and they message me and be like, how could you use my image without paying me? And I was like, hey, oh, that was not ad, but that was just ad. And I use that image from The Guardian. If you want to worry about your image, the image was in The Guardian. But the point of tapping or using your card, I am thinking that people do know that they could use it, and there's a subsection of people that are using it. As far as I could see, because with my online classes, people could pay by bank transfer or by paying using WePay, right? And a lot of the transactions going through WePay using the Visa debit card. And I'm like, hey, well, look at that. They know that they can use it, because before they only used to want to do the bank transfer because they were good with the online banking. But now they see that they can just put in the card information and pay for it one time, and there is no need for them to go into their online banking. But there are the folks who we don't talk about, which is the ones that don't even want to have a bank account, don't even want to have a card, don't even want to put their money in the bank. That is the group of people that we have to deal with, because the people that in the banking system, eventually, as I'm seeing, you're going to do it once, be scared, do it twice, be all concerned, 3 times, 4 times, and then you're like, oh, wait now, I could use this thing in different places. And then they might try, and they might start to get to work. And eventually they'll use it in the gas station, right? The people, however, that are afraid of the bank because of whatever reason, because the banking system is the antichrist or whatever it is, them is the ones. Those are the ones that are causing this big gap that we have here. Which could be because of poverty, or it could be because of the types of jobs that we have is cash paying jobs.
Yeah. It could be that, and some people just keep the money out of the bank because they don't want to paper trade.
But so if you're working construction, you work in CPEP, you work in basically 10 days work, right? Because we get a lot of those jobs, right? A lot of our economy is built around construction, contracts, and people getting a job to work on a house or work on some big building for a year.
I mean, it's have a lot of cash businesses too, like some food businesses. Some doctors only take cash, some lawyers too. For certain things.
Yeah, for certain things. But they still need to have an account, because I experienced that doctor thing already. But a lot of our jobs, when the government say that they're creating jobs, they ain't talking about creating permanent jobs, They're just creating a 2-year construction job, and then you had to move on to the next 2-year construction job. If the construction companies demand, listen, we're not paying all in cash anymore. We have to say, we're going to send your money to our bank account. That will make a big difference, and all of them will have to say, all right, cool. We had to go in the bank to get the money already. We had to use this card. But I think that right now, road works, construction works, fruit vendors, all them, not fruit vendors. Anybody that getting money from a company that is able, that has to pay out from a particular contract, I think they're still paying them in cash. And when they get the cash,
I mean, it's easier to, there's less friction. A lot of people that just don't have bank accounts. And what you need for a bank account? You need a job letter, 2 forms of ID, proof of address. It's a lot of people, like somebody like that, just say you work in construction, or you work in on a 2-month, 3-month, how much basis? Where don't get a job letter from?
Yeah.
If you're renting too.
This is the
first
you're
renting
time.
somewhere. Where getting a proof of address from? You ain't paying no bills, is not,
So the bank's fault.
Go back to the central bank too, because they are probably the ones putting the regulations
in place. Yeah. If we want people to accept that they would use digital payment solutions and whatnot, the first step is to get them to have a bank account.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get them to have a bank account, you have to make the process of getting a bank account way easier. Okay, what's the reason for having to get a job letter and a pay slip and a proof of address to get a bank account? Like if you were working in a bank, what was the reason in 1986 that it was set in place like that? So
Like,
what, you can run?
All right, proof of address. They want to be able to send they want to make sure he's a resident. They want to be able to send statements. All of those
Why you need to be a resident?
no more. Well, they want to make sure. I don't know, maybe if they have some kind of official communication, they need to send that address. I mean, it's a requirement, not just here, everywhere. You know, if there are official documentation that they need to send, or like you say, your debit card, they send it out via the email too. Or if you have a credit card, you know. So they need to.
All right, so address. We'll take address. Okay, why job letter?
Job letter to make sure the money that you're depositing is from a good source and is not just money laundering, no drug money or whatever, you know. So not necessarily a job letter, but just proof of some type of where money might be coming from, like a past pay slip or whatever.
Right.
You know, they want to make
But
sure
then
your money not coming from selling drugs or whatever.
I know I ain't arguing with you because you understand exactly what you're saying. But I could tell you that I have a job and I have 15 side hustles selling drugs.
Yeah.
And all I doing is just using that bank account to push it through my nuts cart.
Yeah.
So you can't really stop money laundering by saying that you have a proof of a job. So basically, they could say
the way it would work, right? If you have a pay slip and your pay slip is for say 5,000 a month, but you passing through 20,000-30,000 a month, red flag. They will put a hole on it. You know, it's the kind of have an idea how much. That's kind of just to have an idea how much money will be passing through your account every month to expect without reason a red flag. So I'll draw a comparison now when I open an account in the US, right? All I needed was like official hard documents. I needed 2 forms of ID. One was my Trinidad permit. The next one was my passport.
Yeah.
Right? And that was it. I needed cash. I had some cash. They asked for an address. I wrote the address on a sticky note. They asked how much money I made where I work. I told them via word of mouth I didn't have any job letter or pay slip or anything.
Yeah.
And like they asked how much money to expect in the account every month, like how much you might be depositing each month. You know, I told them salary equivalent to US. And that was it. I didn't need to provide the job letter and all of that. So it was really just my 2 forms of IDs. I needed to know who I am and, you know, the address and...
Well, then, in this world that we're living in right now where everybody have a side hustle, you can't expect one person to come with one
and
piece
you know why it was so easy up there?
Why?
Because say you're passing money through the bank, they have much stricter and much more tighter laws in terms of taxes and money laundering and things. So that's why they didn't really kick up a fuss, because like you say, somebody really wanted to run racket in terms of that. They'd get catch one time in terms of the other stuff that in place. Because I think anytime you deposit over $10,000 in your bank account, there's how to report it to the IRS. You know, and one time, you know, like here.
It's 10,000 too. Yeah,
it's 10,000.
Yeah, it's how to do a declaration of funds or some kind of thing.
So it's just like if you bring 10,000 cash, but if you bring a check, or if you just do a transfer or whatever, you know, then I don't really check anything.
I think when I went to check the time I had to fill it out. I think it was when I was doing a mortgage or some kind of thing like that. Yeah.
So like I do that already. I brought a unit trust check.
Unit trust check,
right?
Yeah.
And I asked me, was this source set? And I was like, it's my unit trust account. Like, what do you mean? It's my savings.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, okay. So
yeah,
it's like,
well,
it's like it.
Okay. Well, my
So
conclusion,
yeah, so that's what it is. You know, the need to, and like here, if you just want to open a bank accounts and you just say the need to know how much money you're bringing in, because what we FIU does really get involved in. Like when last you hear a case that the FIU.
Okay, no, I had to defend the FIU a little bit because I know somebody who knows somebody, and they actually do real plenty for the country in terms of flagging certain things. However, when they flag certain things, they have to pass it to somebody to take action on it. And the people that have to take the action on it, don't say I know, but they are the ones that be like, nah, we can't touch that, man.
So that,
or no,
right.
we can't do that. Yeah.
So that what I mean, like that's the difference between here and our next country. You know, so like the IRS. The IRS going on flag things and they coming after you. The IRS just garnish your wages. Like anytime you get P and you owing them anything or any crime you commit on you know, whatever, right? It coming out straight out your paycheck before it hit your account. You know, so I could take that. You know that just do the flagging, but in terms of the enforcement. You know, that's where we have a gap, and that's probably why these things
the
just come
bank's
from the
taking long
central
to.
bank.
Okay.
But I mean,
yeah.
at the end of the day, the reason why we don't have much people banked is because of these strict. I don't know if I say strict, but because of these policies that they have in
irrational or exorbitant. I don't know what word to use, but
and even our next thing too is the fees, the monthly fees, cause like. They have very, very few accounts where you have like no monthly fee. You know, like how much checking?
No, you have to keep it above a certain amount or else you'll get charged or something. So
how much regular checking accounts in Trinidad they could more or less have at no fees. You know, like say you open one of the base checking accounts in Republic, any bank. Right, and for no fee. I don't think it's our minimum. Not talking about like the premium savings account or premium, you know, like a base checking account or a base savings account. You know, but say checking account. That's way where money might be going through. It don't really have one that you do have to pay a fee for.
Yeah.
And in the US, it have other countries there. You know, you could open a checking account, make sure you have at least 500 in it every month. Some of them have no fee. They have no fee and no minimum, and you know, once you're using it and your money passing through, you don't have to pay anything. Or even credit cards, it's a lot of things that, I don't know, probably because we're so small that the banks don't really see the need to, you know, like give us those type of privileges. You know, everything is fees.
Yeah. That credit card thing. Anyway, no. That personal credit cards and business credit cards. To get a business credit card is ridiculous.
Yeah.
To get a personal credit card, they just basically shove it down your throat because they want them interest fees. They want them fees. But for the business credit card, I ain't bother to try again because that wickedness. But I mean, they have to guard themselves also because you can't get credit to a business and any business boss, how you gonna get back the money? You had to have some sort of collateral on it or something. I think so.
It's basically you need to keep money in your business account over a period of time.
Yeah.
And like don't touch it, and then they might offer you a card or offer you a loan.
Yeah, basically. All right. Well, that's good to know. Well, we are in a place of growth. At least it's not stagnation. Growth counts. No matter how small it is. We taking it. And for digital transactions, I really want to pay with my phone sometime. Like before 2030, That's a
real father.
Yeah, that's a real Fargo, but it's Trinidad way. I feel we're gonna have tap to pay in 2027, and it could be the greatest
phone.
Yeah, like the greatest revolution in the world. Like, oh wow, Massey now allows you to pay with your phone. And then we'll come on the podcast and be like, 150 episodes in, we now talking about this. Yeah, that'll be.
But I have it on this phone because I have
Apple Pay.
Yeah, well, on our US, like it's work with your US card, so I have it in my wallet.
Okay. Right.
Like when you travel,
but it don't work with your local credit card?
No, your local. You can't add your local cards, the local banks.
Yeah. Tough. Sucks to be us third world people. Next story is something I don't know if I want to be in Florida having to fight down that there's a law that's restricting social media. Actually, I want to agree with this lawyer, but I'll get it. I'll get it when we come back after the break, because we're going to talk about banning social media for children under 16. I am in agreement.
Have you ever tried to order something online using a Visa debit card, but you can't? Is shopping online something you always do already using a Skybox, but sometimes you need advice on knowing what to buy or what will work? I'm Mr. Charles from makeITsimpleTT, and we aim to make technologies that solve problems in a Caribbean context. So we created Order It. What is it, you ask? What is Order It? It's an app and a website that helps you order it in two ways. The first way is if you already order things online. You're familiar with using a Skybox, you're familiar with using a credit card, but sometimes you don't always have answers to certain questions, like which laptops will get a warranty in Trinidad, which phones will work on the Digicel network or the mobile network. So our app helps you order it. Every product that we list in the app, we will let you know the truth based on the experience of 20 years of ordering things online and using various Skyboxes in Trinidad and Tobago. So here are some of the questions that the app answers for you based on the products that we list. What are the taxes? Why does it cost so much when I actually get it? What is dimensional weight? All these questions and more, we answer in the app because we want to help you order it. All you have to do is simply pick from our list of recommended items that we know and trust because we've ordered it already. Follow through the payment process. We'll order it and we can even have it delivered to you. So why don't you give it a try? Search for Order It by makeITsimpleTT in the App Store or the Google Play Store, or you can even go online to orderit.makeITsimpleTT.com and check and see if we could answer some of your questions and help you in the process of ordering it.
All right, so here's the article. Florida's DeSantis, which is the governor at that point in time, he's
still the governor. This article was this week.
Yeah. So Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Monday signed a bill that bans children aged under 14 from social media platforms and requires 14 and 15-year-olds to get parental consent. A measure supporters say will protect them from online risks and their mental health. The measure requires social media platforms to terminate the accounts of people under 14 and those of people under 16 who do not have parental consent. It requires them to use a third-party verification system to screen out those who are underage. Question number one, before I tell you that I agree, I totally agree, 100%. How are you going to determine that somebody is under 14 years old? How? Because I know them children and them signing up for this thing. They create an email address. They create a fake birthday on the email address. Yeah. And then when they sign up for it, they will check the email to see if they are when the email was created or when their birthday was. And then boom, they get the account at 9 years old, 8 years old. And I know for a fact, for sure, in my school, that all them children in Form 1 who come in 11, 12 and thing, you're not supposed to be on any of them things until you're 13 because they have laws and things and all kind of things stating that. But it's no way you could stop it. How are they going to stop it?
Yeah, I was reading another article because I think last year a few states was trying to sue Meta, because it was social media harmful to young people and whatever, and the same stuff about verifying age came up. And they were looking at some form of having some type of like digital ID or digital signature that kind of verifying it. So I don't know, maybe like before you had to pay to be verified, before you had to go through a certain thing to be verified, like to actually verify you are who you say you are. So I'm wondering if it'll be something like that. But if you're doing something like that, right? You kind of had to cast your net on everybody, because how are you going to know I am not 14 or you are not 13? You kind of had to cast a blanket over everybody, and everybody had to say what the age is. And, if you're under a certain age, then you need consent.
Yeah, and well, this thing coming back to parenting, right? And the Meta, Snapchat, Instagram, Discord, everybody have things in place for a parent to go and sign up for the account and then add a child. And add the child under supervision, and it will be underneath the parent account, and it have everything in place. I know this because my children were on Messenger Kids before I gave them WhatsApp. Before they get a SIM card and they get WhatsApp, they were on Messenger Kids. And me as a parent had to go on Facebook and sign up for the parental whatever thingy and add their email address, and anything that they do, I could go and check on this dashboard. That they're a long time. And for them to put this bill in place now, they're trying to now give Facebook and any social media application the legs to start to do more rigorous, investigations into somebody's account or who is using their account. But it's still going to come down to the fact that Facebook and them cannot tell you what age you are. You have to be verified somehow. So how are they going to verify you? I'm very, very concerned about that, because this sounds real nice and thing, and we're protecting the children and whatnot, but it requires the use of a third-party verification system. I don't know what the third-party verification system is. Let me see if I can think. What is the third-party verification system?
Yeah, it might be some sort of, like
somebody had to ask this
process
question.
Or something you had to do. You had to create some type of digital ID.
I think the Verge have an article about it. Blah, 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 blah. Companies that, they basically train it on the companies. They will require social media platforms. The bill requires social media platforms to prevent kids under 14 from creating accounts and delete existing ones. It also requires parent or guardian consent, blah, 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 blah. Companies that fail to promptly delete accounts belonging to 14 and 15-year-olds can be sued on behalf of those kids and may owe them up to $10,000 in damages each. A knowing or reckless violation could be considered an unfair or deceptive trade practice, subject up to $50,000 in civil penalties per violation. So they could force Facebook, force Instagram, force everybody to come up with a way to verify children, which
and try is a bill, so it really signed into law yet, so it'll be appealed and whatever. So and that's how it works.
Not into law yet, but
American
it's once it had to go to the Senate and whatever it is.
So it is not law yet, but it taken first.
It just said signed into law. Hold on, I'm gonna double check. Yeah, it gets signed into law.
Okay, but I think it could still be appealed.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but we could ask one of the AIs after just to make sure.
Yeah.
But clearly, they're not trying to regulate it. They're telling the platform that they have to regulate it, and if you don't, we could sue you.
Well, the children, the parents, It'll be a civil case or whatever, 10,000 or 50,000.
But then why the parents don't just check them one time? Like, it's real hard because the internet is a maskless place. It's a faceless place. So the way the internet works was based on anonymity. Yeah. So now you're trying to make everybody have an ID on the internet. Dangerous places, dangerous stuff.
Yeah. And I saw Texas had some similar things where they ban certain types of, they made it a requirement that you need to verify age for like adult websites. And then like one of the most popular adult sites just totally block it from Texas. Like in the whole of Texas, no access.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
You know? But
alright, so I agree with the goal. The goal is to get these children off of social media because as a teacher, the opportunity for you to wreck your life at an early age, it's there. It's there. And there are many things that social media exposes them to that their maturity level is not anywhere close to an adult. And they're handling adult things at an age where they should not be. And the social media is either you get the platforms to tailor the content that you show to them or you get them off. And I think it's real hard to get the platform to tailor the content because it had too much predators out there. It had too much people who are self-serving and self-centered and selfish who will say, I don't care, that's for the parents to deal with, which is basically the whole of Trinidad there. Yeah, sorry.
And what I want to say too is that some of them, they don't realize the impact of having stuff on the internet going to have what it could potentially have for now and the rest of your life. Once you put something out there, it's there. I say something bad or something, it'll be there for the rest of your life. It has the potential to follow you. Once you put it out, you can't really take it back. And I want to go back to something a few years ago. Like, I don't know if you remember when Akon was here. And
with
Dana Allen.
Dana Allen, yeah.
And
she said that she was 18 when she went to the
something like that. See, that wasn't really that bad, but I mean, look how much years after, and we still remember it. And it didn't really have social media back then, as it is now, and that was like a one-off thing, the media cover it or whatever. But now you have the potential to do things like that every single day, every single second, and it's in the palm of your hands. You could go now and do something outrageous, and stick with you for the rest of your life. And at that age, those ages, you're real impressionable, so.
Yeah, it could chart your course and chart your direction. And even like some students I talk to, they'll be like, I remember when I used to post them shipping it as a good thing. No, but something blah blah. Good thing nobody ever see that, or is a good thing her mother never see what she was doing. I'm like, because
I mean, me too. I could be like, it's all real things I used to do when I was younger, but the difference with us is be like, it's a good thing it didn't have phones back then.
Yeah.
We didn't even have no camera phones, so it was pay phones.
Yeah, you could lose yourself real fast. And when you lose yourself inside there, the pressure that's come on after is amazing. That you could see how children buckle under that pressure, especially the desire to be known. That desire to be known by it is make you do some dumb stuff. And you see it with YouTubers too. YouTubers will do some real stupid things to get the views because, you just want, you love to be known, to say that people know who you are, but you don't really know the pressure that has come from being known. And when you face that pressure from being known, there are two things. You either live up to it or you crack under it and you end up like Miley Cyrus or some kind of thing like that. No?
Yeah, I mean, even as adults, you gain the attention and whatever, is get to some adults, much less for a child, like impressionable.
Correct. All right, random story time. I hope they figure it out, but we'll kind of follow it up, because it's going to be
but
it's going to be a big problem in the future.
On the flip side, America does work in terms of lobbying, so Meta and them might start lobbying certain governors in Washington, so I mean DeSantis in Florida, that Republican state, so but
we'll see. Random story time, Olia. Let's see what the news gives us, and we will talk about it randomly. Random story in technology. Here we go. Gmail revolutionized email 20 years ago. People thought it was Google's April Fool's Day joke.
April Fool's is tomorrow.
I remember when Gmail was beta and I had to get invites. Somebody sent me an invite to Gmail.
Yeah, I remember that. Like the other day, I went all the way back to like my first email, and I was like, wait, now is an invite. It was an invite from a next email from my other Gmail account. So I had one Gmail account, and I invite myself to get the next one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, I couldn't even remember that, but yeah, you had to get an invite to actually get a Gmail. I can't remember where I got that invite from though.
Let me talk about Albert, because Google wasn't supposed to have Gmail. They were just like, well, let's see if we could create a email service, because Hotmail was killing it at that point in time, and Yahoo was killing it at that point in time. What they're really trying to do? They received according to the article, is a free service, and it had 1 gigabyte of storage per account. Like, whoa, a whole gigabyte of storage. And that was compared to Microsoft, I think that had like 250 megabytes or some kind of whatnot, right? And what Google was trying to do is, Google's original pitch we put together was all about storage, search, and speed. They wanted to do... Yeah, sorry, I didn't put it up right here. The goal was, they wanted people to create this account and now make that account into their central hub now. Mm-hmm. So once we give you this email account that has this 1 gigabyte of storage, you can't not click on it. And once you create that Gmail account, guess what Google getting to do? Give you ads. Mm-hmm. And that was the end of it all. Yes, and Google realized, hold on, we had ads on search, and now we could put ads in people's email, and now we know the things that they have inside their email, so we could target their ads better. Yep. Boom, mind blown. And that kind of messed with the internet in terms of ads on websites. Was more like, you go to our website on cars, we show you cars. So it's kind of like the newspaper model. But then after that, now Google was now able to start to do targeted ads, because they had cookies, and then you had your Gmail information to know more about you.
The storage, like for me, the storage was the biggest thing. I remember it had certain things or tasks you could do, or certain deals or whatever you could do to increase your storage. So my Gmail storage, like to this day, bigger than like the regular.
The 15,
quota.
Mine is 18, I think, because they had things that you could do.
Some other things
to get 500 megabytes, and I end up getting more and more and more. Yeah, mine on 18 right now. I end up getting a whole 3 gigabytes extra, because I was playing the game.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, when they launched, we had 300 machines, and they were really old machines, and no one else wanted it. So they only had.
Why am I seeing 2 terabytes?
Because you pay for storage.
No.
You don't pay for Gmail storage?
No.
Nah, you're on your business account. How to be?
No. This is because I'm doing the whole Gemini thing.
Maybe it's a Google One account you sign up for, like you get anything from Google.
No, it's just Gemini. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what it is.
I need to check this for the charge.
They rope you in there, way. Like, there's no turning back now. There's no turning back now.
Good thing we talk about this. I'll go and check this out.
Yeah. So Gmail, revolutionized. I had a Hotmail account before.
Yeah, me too. And the name was something that I would never repeat right now.
Well, really, my own is the_a@gmail.com because I was quite full of myself in terms of my intellectual capacity.
Yeah.
So my Hotmail account's still there. I don't know what I used that Hotmail account for, but I think it still exists.
Yeah,
they never switched it to Live or Outlook or whatever it is, but I think it's still Hotmail. If you go to hotmail.com, you probably send it straight to Outlook, and
I'm not sure. Mine's still there, but
hotmail.com.
Like the original emails and content, it's not there no more. I think I'll lose it.
Yeah, go straight to live.com, login.live.com. Yeah. But now, it's nobody that do have a Gmail address. If I meet somebody and they tell me they do have a Gmail address, I'll be like, why? Like, I send you a link to open up a Google Sheet or a Google Doc, and you can't open it because they don't have a Gmail account. How? How you reach this fine life without one?
So, I figure out what's going on. It's the whole Gemini thing. The bundle Gemini in with 2 terabytes of storage and all of that. So
that's how they just catch you, you know.
Yeah.
That's how they just catch you. Now you're watching our 2 terabytes and you're saying to yourself, I could back up some things here. Way.
I was thinking about keeping the Gemini, you know, cause is it cheap now? It's the same price as ChatGPT. But you know it's integrated into Gmail, so that's it. Yeah. You pay for any of them?
As pay for storage.
No, I mean any AI.
No. The basic one working good enough.
Yeah.
I know as pay for the app that built, we pay for ChatGPT, the API access, but not for the anything in the workflow. Anything in the workflow, I think we have enough to work with. Yeah. But
I'm thinking about it. I'm still assessing. I think I have until May.
Yeah, I'll put it on the company tab.
I'll claim for it on.
Imagine you fill out your claim. Yeah, imagine you fill out your claim and everybody claiming for traveling and you claiming for AI.
Yeah, so like where I work, right? I could claim like my internet bill. I just claim that like for the years.
Oh, for real?
Pour all of this together, claim it. They could claim software subscriptions. So I might just take it and just claim for it.
Yeah, I would do that too. Like, one day I could get my company to be like that.
No, it's not. That's not my company. That's like my day.
Right. Now, I mean, one day, as the owner of my company, I want to be able to do that for my employees. But not right now. We still are scrappy startup trying to make it in this world. Yeah. All right. Woo. Hour and 10 minutes. Let's wrap up there. To those of you who have been listening all the way through to the end, we thank you very much for always listening, making it to the end, and listening to us talk about technology. I don't think I got any messages from anybody, but people listening, and we're glad to have you all always listening to us. And if you want to reach out to us at any point in time, you can find me at makeITsimpleTT anywhere on the internet, including TikTok, where I do videos, just may not be dedicated videos for people like you, but we get in there somehow. We get in there bit by bit, piece by piece. Okay. And if you want to find my co-host, you can find him at
redbittech _redbit_tech. And I will be posting this week, making a comeback.
The hiatus is over. I real work to go and do tonight. But the good thing is tomorrow's a holiday, so I'll go and sit down and hammer out some work right now.
Yeah,
and
but every day this week is a holiday for you.
Yes. However, my son has camp and the days when it is not a public holiday, I probably have to carry the children somewhere or whatnot, so I consider that work too. So, but every day is a holiday for me this week, technically speaking. But it's not the wake up late and stay home kind kind of holiday. I'll still have stuff to do. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I'm probably gonna end up sleeping like about 11 o'clock. But I'm gonna use a lot of AI tonight. Real AI gonna pelt out to hammer out all the work that I have to do, which I should be able to get done in 3 hours, because it would have taken 3 days to do the kind of work that I'm gonna do just now. All right, so we're going there. We'll see you all next week, and whatever we have to talk about next week. You may be coming in from an undisclosed location, but we won't tell anybody anything.
Yeah.
We'll just see how that goes. All right, tell you later.